Nag-propose ng mga amendments sa ating Constitution si Senator Robin Hood Padilla para palitan yung mga terms ng mga elected officials natin. Ngayon, pag-aralan nga natin yung mga iba't ibang mga amendments na pinopropose niya at tignan natin kung may merits ba to o wala. Pero bago natin ito umpisahan, kung nagugustuhan mo itong mga ganitong content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at pakipress rin yung like button para lalo pa dumami yung mga ganitong content na nakukuha mo sa YouTube. Okay, umpisahan na natin to. Nung narinig ko tong proposal ni Robin Hood Padilla, ang una kong ginawa ay tinanong ko sa sarili ko, bakit ba niya to ginagawa ngayong panahon na to? Ano ba yung rason at ano ba yung objective ng pagbibigay na itong mga proposals na to sa ating Constitution? Na alam ko may mga iba sa inyo do not like Robin Padilla and some of you love him. Pero before we put our personal biases here, tignan muna natin kung may merits nga itong mga pinopropose niya. Alright, first of all, ito yung mga rason kung bakit pinopropose niya itong mga amendments. The first one na binanggit niya is that the Philippines ranks 52nd out of 167 countries in the Democracy Index. And dahil daw to sa political culture and functioning of government and political participation. So, yung unang rason na to, no, I don't think it's because of the terms of our elected official ang nagkukos nitong mababang ranking natin sa Democracy Index. I think it's because of the politicking and because of the political agenda of some of the people in the executive and legislative branch, and dahil hindi nasa-separate yung legislative sa executive and sa judicial. Yun ang rason kung bakit mababa tayo sa Democracy Index. Next one, historical data from ADB reveals that in the past decade, political instability and frequent turnover of elected officials has been the identifier of major impediments to long-term planning and policy continuity. Honestly, if you look at it, marami nga tayong political dynasties, and yet, if you think about it, it's saying that political instability is because of the turnover when in fact, ang tagal nga ng mga politiko natin dito. I think they're talking about the legal aspect, but they're not talking about the real life aspect, yung kung ano yung nangyayari in real life sa Pilipinas. Na hindi nga frequent ang turnover eh. Ang tagal nga ng mga politiko natin dito eh. Perfect example, Juan Ponce Enrile. I think the man is over 100 years old and he's still here. He was here before 1986 and until now, andito pa siya. Okay, pangatlong reason daw, it is imperative to strike a balance between the need for policy continuity, which requires adequate time for lawmakers to fulfill their legislative agenda, and the need to prevent accumulation of power, which may lead to political entrenchment. I agree with policy continuity. And I'm going to explain to you which sections I agree with sa kanyang amendments but not in totality. Kasi ang problema nga natin with the accumulation of power is that ang daming ang mga political dynasties sa Pilipinas. At sobrang nga silang entrenched na nagkakaroon na nga ng mga political armies at hindi nga sila matanggal sa kanilang posisyon. So changing the terms of the elected officials is not gonna help that. There has to be a different legislation to be able to address the issue of political dynasties. That is the real problem. Next, sabi niya dito, it's important to provide an allowable extension of service, thus providing elected officials with a more substantial opportunity to affect long-term change. I agree with what he's trying to say, pero in reality nga kasi, ang tagal na nga ng ating mga politiko na namumuno sa ating bansa, pero wala naman nangyayaring mga effective long-term change. So they're able to skirt around this issue na, and yet wala silang nagagawang pagbabago talaga. So I can't see kung paano ma-address ng law na to yung mga issues ng political entrenchment directly. Ngayon, himayin na natin yung mga amendments na gusto gawin ni Robin Hood Padilla at tignan nga natin kung okay ba siya o hindi. Unang-una, Section 2 of Article 6. Now, before I tell you the proposal, I'll first tell you what the current system is. Currently, 24 ang ating mga senador. Ang gusto ni Robin Hood Padilla i-propose at palitan ay gusto niyang gawing 54 ang senators natin, with the 30 additional senators being voted by region instead of a national election for the senators. For this section, I don't agree with Robin Padilla. And this is because by adding 30 more senators that are voted by region, that's actually redundant. Kasi yung Kongreso nga ay voted by region. So parang ginawa mo na rin, nagboto ka ng mga kongresista na ilalagay mo sa Senado. Bakit ka pa nagkaroon ng Kongreso kung magkakaroon ka rin ng mga representatives per region in the Senate? The Senate is the upper house and the Congress is the lower house. And they have fairly co-equal powers in terms of legislation. At dahil sa redundancy na to, madadagdagan ang gastos ng ating bansa para bayaran ang mga senador na to at ang kanilang mga opisina. hindi gaganda ang mga batas natin at hindi lalong mag-i-improve ang proseso ng legislation by adding 30 more members to the Senate. As a matter of fact, pag nagdadagdag ka ng ganyang karaming tao sa Senado, lalong babagal ang proseso. So I don't agree with Section 2 and I think that should be struck down and taken out. Ngayon, tignan naman natin yung Section 4 of Article 6. Now, the current term of the senators is 6 years with 2 consecutive terms for a total of 12 years in office. Ang pinopropose si Senator Padilla ay gawing 8 years ang term ng isang senador. With 2 consecutive terms, that means that the senator is going to be in power for 16 years. At pinag-usapan niya dito yung term ng 30 regional senators. Okay, hindi ko na pag-uusapan niya because I don't agree with the 30 new senators. So I'll just talk about the 24 senators term, changing it from 6 to 8. I don't agree with extending it to 8 years. At dahil sobrang haba ng 8 years, na hindi ito makakadagdag sa improvement ng legislative process. And as a matter of fact, tingin ko, na magkakaroon to ng problema in the legislative process because pag ang isang tao na sa posisyon ng 8 years, maraming pwedeng mangyari. Pwede silang maging physically incapacitated o kaya mentally incapacitated at magkakaroon ng problema to be able to find somebody to fill in their positions pag nagkaroon sila ng mental or physical incapacitation. Tapos to be able to vote for them after 8 years, karamihan sa atin, hindi na nga natin maaalala kung ano ba yung mga kapalpakan o mga magagaling na nagagawa nila to be able to decide kung gusto pa natin sila i-re-elect for another 8 years. Ito yung gusto ko i-propose kay Senator Padilla. Imbis na gawing 8 years, gawin mo na lang 4 years ang term ng isang senador, tapos allow them 3 consecutive terms. In this way, they're able to still serve for 12 years, pero in this case, meron tayong parang mid-term election to be able to decide kung gusto pa rin natin sila after 4 years. Kasi in 4 years, makikita natin kung effective ba itong senador na to, hindi, at kung hindi, palitan na siya after 4 years. At kung magaling siya, ibalik natin for another 4. At kung kaya pa niya, ibalik natin for another 4. Mas okay pa ako doon. Next, Section 7 of Article 6. Ito naman, pinag-uusapan yung ating Kongreso. The current system allows for members of Congress to have a term of 3 years and they can be elected 3 times for a total of 9 years in office. Ngayon, gusto niya gawing 4-year terms for 3 consecutive times to make it 12 years in office. So for me, I'm indifferent towards it. Pwedeng 3 consecutive terms o kaya for Congress, pwedeng gawin na lang natin 2 consecutive terms. Because being able to serve for 8 years is long enough anyway. And plus, I think it will help lessen the political entrenchment dahil magkakaroon tayo ng pagkakataon to be able to introduce new blood into the Congress. And possibly better members of Congress to be able to represent us. So it might be a better idea to limit the term to 2 years pero 4-year terms for a total of 8 years. Ito na yung juicy part. Yung Section 4 of Article 7, it's the term of the President and the Vice President. Ang current system natin is the President and Vice President is elected once for 6 years at pinapalitan every 6 years. I actually like that because walang posibilidad na ma-re-elect ang isang presidente at hindi siya ma-entrench sa posisyon niya. At yung current system natin, yung president and vice president does not have to be from the same party. So you vote for them separately. Okay, ito yung pinopropose ni Senator Padilla. The president and vice president shall be elected as a joint candidate by direct vote from the people for a term of 4 years instead of 6. And they shall not be elected for more than 2 terms. And dinagdag niya dito that the president who served for 2 terms shall not be qualified to run for any other elective position. And any person who has succeeded the president or vice president shall only be qualified for 1 election to the same office at any time. Kahit na hindi ako sang-ayon sa idea ng re-election for president and vice president, I actually like Section 4 of Article 7. Unang-una, I like the fact that it's a joint candidate. And I like the fact that it's only 4 years. This is actually the same as the presidential and vice presidential term sa United States. At kaya gusto ko to dahil mas maikli ang 4 years kaysa sa 6 years. And it serves as some sort of a mid-term vote of confidence or vote of no confidence for the President and Vice President. So, ibig sabihin yan, after 4 years, malalaman na natin, okay ba itong Presidente na to o hindi? At pag hindi siya okay, pwede natin siya palitan after 4 years. Malilimit yung damage na nagagawa ng Presidente at Vice President natin. At kung magaling naman sila, bibigyan natin sila ng fresh mandate to be able to continue in power for another 4 years. So I'm actually okay with this. At gusto ko yung pangalawang statement dito, no, that the president who shall serve 2 terms will not be qualified to run for any other elective office. I love that, and that should be the case. Kasi tignan mo nga yung ating mga ibang past presidents ngayon bumabalik as part of Congress. Tama na, tapos ka na. At gusto ko rin na itong sentence na to that any person na magsasucceed sa president or vice president, in other words, kumbaga, let's say yung vice president ay naging presidente dahil nawala yung presidente, they can run 1 time. Then after that, hindi na siya pwede mag-run for re-election. And I think this could be good for the country dahil ito, magkakaroon tayo ng stability sa mga policies natin. Okay, and the last one here is yung Section 8 of Article 10, which is the term of elective local officials. Ito yung mga mayor, vice mayor, councilors. Yung current system natin is they're elected for 3 years and they can run for 3 consecutive terms. Ngayon, ang pinopropose dito is palitan yan to 4 years and then they can run for 3 consecutive terms. This one, I agree with. Kasi I think that the 3-year term for local government, mga mayors and vice mayors, ay sobrang ikli. Dahil isipin mo to pag na-elect sila, the first year in office, they're probably just learning their job and they're trying to implement the policies. Second year, na-implement na siguro yung policies, and by the 3rd year, they're already preparing to run for re-election. So, imbis na magtatrabaho sila on the 3rd year, they're focusing on re-election. So, hindi nila talaga nagagawa yung trabaho na tama. Pero by extending it to 4 years, it allows them more time to be able to implement real change in the local government. And then, after 4 years, we can look at it and decide, effective ba itong mayor na to o itong vice mayor na to o itong mga councilors na to? And then either give them a vote of confidence or a vote of no confidence to be able to continue for another term. Ngayon, sinasabi dito sa proposal is it should be 3 consecutive terms. I'm not really sure if I'm okay with 3 terms kasi that'll mean 12 years in office versus the current 9 years. I think maybe okay na yung 8 years in office similar to the president, because for the executive departments naman, tulad ng mga mayor and vice mayor and president, I think they can do enough for the country and for their city in an 8-year time. At naniniwala ako that the executive positions are more taxing. Mas mahirap siya at mas maraming trabaho. That 8 years is long enough. And I think there should always be a new, fresh perspective after 8 years na hindi na patatagalin beyond that. Para may fresh ideas palagi, fresh way of looking at things. Kasi sometimes, pag sobrang tagal ka na sa isang trabaho, magiging complacent ka At nagbibigay ito ng opportunity for other people to be able to inject new ideas and new policies based on the current times. And in this way, it'll make the city more progressive. Yes to 4 years, but limited to 2 consecutive terms only for local elective officials. Here are my final thoughts on this. I think na may merits naman itong pinopropose ni Senator Padilla. At meron ako nakikitang pwede mga benefits dito. Pero ang tingin kong kailangan talaga pag-isipan ng ating mga senador in studying this proposal is meron bang problema ang ating current system na kailangan na agad palitan in terms of terms of elected officials? O kaya, is there a different proposal that can address the issue of political entrenchment and political instability? At ang isa pang anggulo na kailangan pag-isipan ng mga senador bago nila pag-usapan itong resolution na to ay meron bang mga legislation na mas importante at mas urgent at mas kailangan i-prioridad imbes na ito? Kung meron yon, kailangan nilang unahin yon dahil I believe there is legislation that directly impacts the lives of Filipinos na kailangan ng pag-usapan at gawin. At pag matatapos nila lahat yon, baka pwede nila itong pag-usapan. Pero kung tingin nila kaya nilang gawin lahat na itong mga legislative agendas nila all at the same time na hindi madedelay yung mga priority legislation, then by all means, go for it. Kung willing sila mag-work overtime to be able to make this all happen at the same time, who am I to stop them, diba? The more hardworking the senators are, the better for the country. Ikaw, ano tingin mo? Agree ka ba dito kay Senator Robin Padilla at yung kanyang mga proposals? O kaya apektado ka ba sa bias mo against him or for him that affects your decision-making process? Gusto ko marinig lahat ng mga opinion nyo, whether you agree or disagree, o kaya baka may mga na-miss akong mga points. Please Write all of that in the comment section below. I'm gonna be reading some of these comments. At sana nakatulong itong video na to para makapag-isip tayo ng mas maayos at mas maging critical thinkers tayo para sa kauunlad ng ating buong bansa at ng ating mga kababayan. Salamat, ito si Kristan. Magkita tayo muli sa aking susunod na video.